So we're down in Austin, Texas. We're moving her into her new apartment with John. And John decides he's going to make us some authentic Texas chili. It is delicious, also incredibly spicy. So I'm here hoarding all of the bread I can muster without looking really weird, because it's got to make a good impression. And I look across the table to figure out what Melissa's alternate meal, what she's found to eat for herself. And she's eating the chili! And I say, who are you and what did you do with my sister? Honestly, from that moment I knew how much you loved John and how great he was for you, because he helped you grow and try new things. And I love that so much about the two of you. I've seen it in so many ways. And it was just a pleasure to even be there and witness your love.
I've known John for a long time, but I've known Melissa for almost as long, longer than John has known her. Which is why I think John came to me when he first realized that he was dating this girl and she was beginning to sweep him off his feet. He sat with me and we chatted over cans of Natty Light. And he said, you know, I think I'm really falling hard for this girl. But I just came back from Granada, my classes are ridiculous, and I'm illegally squatting in your college dorm room. Am I moving too fast? Am I crazy? I looked at him and said, you know, I gave him the best advice I could. I said, go take a look at yourself in the mirror and reflect. Then really, really look at your ugly mug and say, what am I even thinking about not holding on to this poor girl who clearly doesn't know how out of my league she is? I've never been happier to say that I think he's found a perfect partner for his next big adventure into marriage.
Dearly beloved, I cannot believe we're here right now. Have you ever woken up stretched and so happy to be alive that you just had to roll over and turn to the person next to you and give him a kiss? Well, I have. And apparently, now I'm not welcome on the Amtrak anymore. When we all got out of school and scattered to the four winds, it was John and Melissa taking the plunge together out in rancher country. And when I came back to Boston, they were there making a home that was at the center of all of their friends' lives. When you've shaken up your entire life, everything in it, and you've found that you have this bond that goes even deeper than everything else in your life, which is a special kind of bond. It's called family. That is something that stays the same. And that's what we're here to do today. To recognize that this bond that you have, that you've created, that you will continue to create together. And to join your two families into one family, we're here to witness this. So that when you wake up en route to wherever your next destination is going to be, and you feel so happy to be alive and you just turn to the person next to you to give him a kiss, you probably will not get kicked off the train. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. and Mrs. Sears.
I promise we'll always have a working N64, so our kids can play Pokemon Stadium.
I can't promise that I'll enjoy your snoring, but I will try not to complain about it.
I promise to try and only host guests at our house every other weekend, which that will probably be a difficult one.
I can't promise that I will ever be perfect, but I will promise to always try to be better, and I promise that you'll never be bored.
And I promise to put family first and be the best father to our many children, as I'm sure you're going to be the best mother.
I don't know how the time has passed so quickly, but I would guess that it is at least partly because of how happy you have made me. And I can't even believe that somehow I've also made you that happy.
I promise to treat you daily with the respect that is due to a woman of your grace and beauty.
I love you for who you are and for who you make me want to be. I feel like a better person when I'm with you, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life waking up beside you. And I promise to keep you smiling for the rest of your life.
And lastly, I promise to love you with all my heart and soul, to the moon and back again, from today until our final day on earth and beyond.
Okay, a little bit of Boston here.
So I met Melissa the day she was born, actually the moment that she was born. And I fell in love with her instantly. We've heard about how resourceful and dedicated and hardworking she is, and she's always been a person who would pursue her goals vigorously. When she was about 3 years old, she came into our bedroom one morning and said, "Mom, Dad, I either want to be a dentist or a pet store." And she said, yeah, I want to be a dentist. I have no idea where that came from, but here she is. She just passed her final examinations in the second year of dental school, passed the national board examination. So let me tell you about the day I met John. It was a beautiful, beautiful day on the campus of Boston College. We were at St. Ignatius Church listening to a Boston College chorale concert. So the concert ended, and we were sitting there puffed up with pride. The sunlight was streaming in through the stained glass windows, and I was just so happy and proud. And this young man walked straight up to me, handsome young man. He says, "Hello, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is John Patrick Sears." At about 10 feet behind him, I see Melissa in her choir robes peeking around through the people with a huge grin on her face. I said, "Okay, I know who John Patrick Sears is." And we've had a lot of fun since then. Everyone here knows that John has always been a highly accomplished and a wonderful guy. About a year and a half ago, last Christmas, he was up in Vermont. We had opened the Christmas presents, had a nice breakfast, and he came up to me and he said, "May I have a word with you in private?" So we went to the other end of the house, went into the library, closed the door, and he said, "I would like to ask your permission for your daughter's hand in marriage." Let me tell you, if there are any young men wondering how you do it out there, that's how you do it. If and when, and I hope it's when, you have the opportunity to see one of your children or all of your children being born, take the opportunity. Go there. Be with her. Stay there as long as it takes. From that day on, whenever you're thinking about how can I do something wonderful for my children, you will realize you could never do anything as wonderful as what she's already done.
go up to Bridgeton, Maine. Everybody would be there. We would have the best time. John Patrick would say things to me like, "Isn't it fun being with all the cousins?" And I thought, he is so right. It is so nice. It's just like when I got married and I looked around and I saw all the family coming together. It's been like that all the way along. Everything is family with him. He loves family, and Melissa loves family. Now I look ahead and I say, wow, my family is just growing and getting bigger. It is so nice to welcome all of the Coffeys, Melissa, into our family. She is such a sweet girl. She has so much to offer. They complement each other. They both have strong values. They both have a lot of the same beliefs. Being married isn't always the easiest thing. It's communicating with each other. It's talking to each other. And it's family. It's having people around you to support you. And as your life goes on, everything will be great because you're an addition to our family. And as we go on, we're really, really happy for all of you.